Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video, I have discussed about our event object. So how can working with the event object, I think it's very much clear to you. So now in this video, they have the another event as a keyboard event. So how can working with this keyboard event is also very much important one of the part, because when we'll create our project, then it should be needed. Okay, so here I want to define another keyboard event. How can do that work? I will show you that things with a live example. For doing this better, I want to create another file, click on the save as. So that should be our class 6. I just simply define as a class 6.html. Sorry, 6.html. So I just simply save it. So that should be class 6. So now from 2, I just select all, and here I just simply paste it. So right now we don't need this. I just remove it, and that is our class 6. Here I just remove it. Okay. So that is a remove it, and there is a method, so I also don't need this. I just simply remove all the things from here, and that is our method, and that is our property. Perfect. And also there is our title. I want to update the title as a keyboard event. Okay, keyboard events. So this type of our title, click on the save all, and now open it. Here that is our 6. I just simply open it. So right now we don't need this. That is our event object. So now I want to work in our keyboard events. Okay. So now first of all, here in our that positions, that means in our property area, I just take as a name one of the properties. So I just name it as a name, and here I just put my name as a Aryan. Okay, I just define that name as Aryan. So now if you want to visible it, I think you already know about it. You have to define one of the h1 tag or h2 tag. I just define as a h2. And here I define as a my name. Okay, my name is this one, that means this property. So I just simply added that property, in particular that position. Okay, I just simply define that property. So now if you click on the save all, and now if you refresh it, yeah, you can see it's now showing as a my name is Aryan. So previously I have already discussed about that click event and the mouse over event. So now I want to do another one. It's like better I want to take one of the input field, then it will be very much easy for you. I just define the text type, and before I define that click, right? That means that I define as a @click. So this type of, and also I define as a mouse over. So this type of one of the event I have already discussed about that things with you. So now for the keyboard event, I want to use another one. So that should be as a key up. So you have to define as a key and up. And in particular that position I want to define another method, and I just name that method as a name. Okay, name change. Okay, I just name it one of the method as a name change. So now we have to create this method, right? So now I just simply go to our method area. Into this method area, I want to create this method as a name change. So I just simply create this method and define that method. And here, as I told you before, when you use one of the event into the event, when you use one of the method, then you have to define your event, in particular that position. Okay, so you can use that you can use that event whatever you want. So you have to define that event in your that method area. So here I just simply define that and also if you want to check it with the console, I just simply check it as a console. Okay, I just simply define that console.log, and here if you want to display that event, that means this then what exactly it should be displayed. Like here I define that and now if you click on the save all, so here I define that console log Okay, now if you go here, refresh that page, open our inspect, go to the console, and here if you put as a, so now you can see it's now showing as a. If you click as a R, then it will be displayed as a R. Okay, so now here one thing is very much important, because when you create one of the project, into the project they have, when you upload any images, then this event actually will be needed. Like if you click as a AR, okay, like I just define as a AR, and into this position, so you can see there's a and the R. So now if you open it, so they have all that our object. Into this object here you can see they have also defined the target. Into the target, if you go here into this target, they have also one of the value. You can see that is actually the value as a AR. So I just put that as a AR. So it's pretty much important on the part, because when we will upload any images in our VueJs project, then it should be needed. Okay, like here, whatever the things you will put into this object area, it should be redirected to in our target. Into the target, they have also one of the value I defined. So here you can see they have also another field, and that is actually the value. So where it is. So that is our target. You can see that is actually the value. So this value is in our where? In our that position. That means in our target input area, right? So now if you want to directly access this value, then you can also access it. So then you have to define that part, like there is our console log, and here I have to define that with this E, and here I define our another after that event. So after that event we have to go which place, like I show you, that is our event, right? So that is our event. So that is the event I just defined with this E, right? So after that E, that is I define as a dot, and then I want to go to our target. So that is our target, and into the target I want to go our specific this position, that is our value. So into this value here you can see that is actually our value is visible. So now I just simply define E, that means after the event I just simply define the target. So I just simply define the target. Into the target, that is our another field as a value. So I just simply define that value. So now if you click on the save all, I just click on the save all, and now what exactly it should be do? Like I just click on the refresh, and here I define as a aryan, and you can see it's now perfectly getting that ARI, YAN. So that is actually the value I show you. I just refresh it, and now here I define as the A and then AR. Okay, you can see there is AR and a YA. So that is every part is all that value is perfectly visible in particular that area. And also here I define our property as a aryan. So also if you want to make the things dynamic, okay, like here that is our target value. So I just simply define that name in our property, that is our name as a string value as a aryan. So now if you also want to make the things dynamic, then you can also do that work. Better I just put the things as a note on here, and then we have to use it. So as I told you before, if you want to use dash data property, in that means elements, into the elements, if you want to access these data properties, all that object, then you have to use that with the this, right? So I just simply define this, and this our property name, that is a name. So I just simply define that name, and then I have to define that value. So this value is in our event. So I just simply define our event with the E and then the target. Okay, so that means then the target. So here I have already defined as a target, and into the target there is a value. So I just simply define our E and the target and the value. Okay, so now it should be updated. Like you just click on the save all, and here I have already printed. So now if you click on the save all, and now if you refresh it, and whatever the things you will put in particular that area, it should be updated. Like I just simply define as a Kazi. You can see it's now perfectly updated as a Kazi. You can use that Udemy. It's now displayed as a Udemy. Perfect. So friend, I think it's very much clear to you. So that's all that event will be needed when we actually working in our project. So as I told you before, just take all that basic fundamental, cause every part will be needed. Okay, like here there is our I have already discussed about our one-step data binding. So better in our next video I want to discuss about the two-step data binding. It's very much one of the interactive things. So how can define the two-step data binding? In our next video I will show you that things with the live example. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.